Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. Riot police officers have been chasing off protesters at the opposition MDC Alliance premises in Zimbabwe following declaration of election results which the opposition has rejected. Opposition leader Nelson Chamisa dismissed President Emmerson Mnangagwa's election victory as being based on what he described as unverified fake results, an allegation the Electoral Commission there denies. This was the first election since long-term leader Robert Mugabe was ousted. In a tweet, Mr. Mnangagwa urged Zimbabweans to unite to create a new beginning. While many Zimbabweans were hoping for a fresh start following decades of Robert Mugabe's rule. Mr. Chamisa had earlier called on his rival not to accept a, quote, corrupted result. Let's get the latest on the situation in Zimbabwe. George Massamba joins us. He's a Zimbabwean journalist for the very latest on this. Hello, George.
Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you. What is the situation in Zimbabwe as we speak? Hello, George. If you can hear me, tell us the situation in Zimbabwe as we speak.
Yes, the president-elect Emmerson Mnangagwa has just concluded a press briefing with international and local journalists and everyone is free to challenge if they feel that the elections are not free and they were cheated. They are free to approach the court and to have redress. He said that as far as this concerned, after 9 days he will be inaugurated.
Earlier, we know that Mr. Chamisa also tried to organize a press conference that he was at some point avoided. How did that go? Did he finally organize that press conference?
Yes, it went ahead. Initially, the police had blocked the press conference, and then the Minister of Information quickly rushed to the venue and ordered the police to leave the venue so that the press conference could go ahead, and he managed to have his press conference.
What did he say to the people?
Yeah, he told them that the police had been alerted that there were likely to be violent scenes at that particular venue, and so they acted on intelligence, which had explained that they could. But he went on then to say that they are free to continue because it's journalists involved, let them go ahead. But of course, it gave Zimbabwe a bad name in terms of international relations.
What did Mr. Chamisa say at this press conference? Do you know?
Yes, he said that he does not. He recognized the elections. He is going to take court action, and is going to provide evidence that the elections were rigged, and he produced a pile of papers showing that what we call the V11 forms. These are pasted outside polling stations to show the number of voters and who voted for the number of votes that each candidate got, and he said that he will produce this evidence in court. He didn't specify when he's going to go to court, but as far as it's concerned, he said that he won with 54% as compared to Mnangagwa's 46%.
So he's insisting that he won by 54%, despite the results put out by the Electoral Commission. How are tensions like in Zimbabwe now? Is it calm, or are opposition members and followers agitated?
In town, the police are still patrolling. The soldiers have gone back to the barracks, but they are on standby. Business started to open again. Shops were opening again, and people were now beginning to do the normal business activities. Tomorrow it will pick up as people become sure that they are sick. secure to go back into town. I think now, because the opposition has indicated that they will use the court system, so it means that the opposition supporters do not have to go into town to demonstrate. They will wait for the court process. And so people are beginning to get reassured that maybe it is safe out there to go out there.
Well, that sounds good. But have there been any injuries, any sort of attacks recorded so far following the announcement of the election results?
Not after the announcement, but we understand that there was a heavy soldier presence in the suburbs where people stay. The soldiers were there to ensure that when the results were being announced, no one would come out to protest or to loot or to riot. So there was a heavy soldier presence in the suburbs, and people. Some are reporting that some could have been harassed or some could have been beaten up to leave drinking spots, to leave nightclubs, and to go back to their homes.
Okay. Earlier on, former President Robert Mugabe himself went out to vote. Before that, he had indicated that he wasn't going to vote for Emmerson Mnangagwa. Has there been any correspondence from his office following the results of the election?
No, he hasn't commented yet.
Okay.
We haven't heard anything from the former president. But funny enough, the people in his home area, his rural home area, they voted for Mnangagwa in the ZANU-PF. So that made the grassroots. In fact, the people actually went and voted for Mnangagwa.
Okay. For you as a journalist and as a Zimbabwean, this is a very historic moment for all of Zimbabweans. I mean, this has been a very long time since you had such an election. How does it feel for journalists like yourself?
Yes, I think the freedoms that we have enjoyed really have been so beautiful. It has been easy to well, if you work for state radio, in the past you would not allow opposition voices to come on and debate and put across their views. But we've been allowed to do that. We've been allowed to have every debate criticizing the administration of Mnangagwa. And this has been a breath of fresh air. Except for the Wednesday incident where the rioting and the killing of 3 people in the city center. But apart from that, we have enjoyed our freedoms. We enjoyed the robust debate between political parties. We invited them and they came through. And I think even up to the run-up to the elections, we tried as much as possible to give each and every political party a voice to be heard. Of course, there are so many political parties in Zimbabwe, so you cannot really share out in equal time with all of them. But those who are prominent, we managed to give them time to come and air their views.
Okay. George, thank you so much for your time this afternoon and for giving us that update all the way from Zimbabwe. George Massamba is a Zimbabwean journalist bringing us updates on the election situation there. He tells us that now people feel much more confident and safer going out there to do business, and their offices and shops are beginning to open for business because of that press conference held by opposition leader Nelson Chamisa, indicating that they will resort to the court to challenge the election results. That's the latest from Zimbabwe.